Good morning, y'all. Or good afternoon, good evening. Eric here, Driveline World's okay, steering wheel holder. Currently about to be forced to sit and watch the sun come up. Oh man, my trip plan just got completely thrown apart. There's some buzzing, and that's because the reefer next to me is just going nuts. My APU and reefer are not running for once, but of course I'm parked right next to a guy who is clearly on continuous, so hopefully that doesn't bother you guys too much. Yeah, had a really easy morning this morning, and in the title mentions critical event. I'll get to that in a minute, or in a couple minutes, but I just want to give you guys a quick update on this trip plan. I had what should be a very easy morning. I pulled up Load Choice yesterday evening, almost last night. I got unloaded at a distribution center that had terrible reviews. I mean, just awful reviews. There's my night dispatcher responding to me explaining my critical event. This place just had devastating reviews, and it was the one, the very rare occasion where you're the anomaly. I got unloaded so fast, like it was just like, what? I'd crawled into the sleeper. I was going to take a nap, and I got a call. Hey, your bills are ready. And I'm like, what? And not only that, but it was a candy load, so it's got like just pages and pages of SKUs or POs, and usually those are the ones that take forever. So if you're going to a place that has reviews of 4 or 5 hours waiting on paperwork, and you've got that many POs for 60, 70 different types of candy bars and gummy bears and all that stuff. Somehow, though, I was out of there in like an hour. I mean, unloaded, and that trailer was full, top to bottom, front to back. So anyway, I pull up Load Choice, and there was this load paying pretty short, $700 for 295 miles total. And 150 of it was deadhead. So, snap that up. All three of the first three loads on Load Choice paid about the same. But this one it's a drop and hook on the front end, and on the back end, it's a fantastic receiver. An amazing place. So it's a live unload, but it's a place that it's just, so I was like, yeah, I'll run that real quick. So I went to bed, did a 10-hour break. I get up at 2:30, 3 o'clock this morning, and I'm researching the weather. These damn thunderstorms just will not. Oh man, I'm just so tired of thunderstorms, dudes. I just can't get away from it every single night. In fact, so it's morning now, sun's about to come up. And so not last night, but the night before, I had started my drive, and radar was showing, some patches outside of my driving lane. Of course, I get halfway through my drive, and all of a sudden I start seeing the sky lighting up, because I drive at night, and pull over, look at radar, and sure enough, I'm headed teeth first into some shit. I had weight. I had 35,000 pounds in a trailer. It wasn't tornadic or anything, but just, sketchy, super sketchy. So it's just every single night, man. So this morning at 2:33, and I can't rely on the radar either, because it's not accurate. It's accurate in real time, but 3 or 4 hours out, It's not. It's just there's no accuracy at all. That's been the case for me for the last couple weeks. So I get up at like 2:30, 3 o'clock this morning. I look at the radar. Now I can pick this load up anytime today, anytime before midnight. The problem is the only washout, and this trailer is trashed. It's got candy and pallet wood, and it's trashed. The only washout is basically at the pickup. It's in the town that the pickup is in, and it's only open until 6 p.m. So I can't just sit all day and then go late tonight because I can't get the trailer washed out. There's not a trailer washout where I was parked, and there's not one on my 150-mile drive to get to where I'm picking up. There's only one there, and it closes at like 6 p.m. I think, 6 or 7 p.m., something like that. So I can't just be shut down all day and show up there late at night with an empty trailer and try to, which is what I would want to do generally, because it's such a short run overnight tonight, and I deliver early in the morning. That would be the ideal way to. Plus, it guarantee the load's ready, right? Or not guarantee, but a much better likelihood. But I had to get to the washout this morning. So my plan was to get to this washout, this truck wash, at 6:30 this morning, and be there behind the bay at 7 when that truck wash opens. Then run my empty trailer over to the shipper, drop it off. If the load's ready, great. I'll go ahead and start the drive. If it's not ready, then I just drop the trailer off and go do my break. So I'm looking at radar, perfectly fine. There was some stuff where I'm going, but the radar just shows it all just dissipating well before the time that I was going to get to my pickup. So, start my clock, go get fuel. My fuel stop was like 7 miles down the road to Love's, got coffee, put a podcast on, started driving. And I get, what am I? 56 miles from, well, actually this was about 15 miles ago. So it would have been, 70 miles out from my pickup, from the washout, from the truck wash, 70 miles out. And all of a sudden the sky flashes, lightning. I'm like, what the fuck? So I pull over, look at radar. Dude, there's a red box. I didn't open it up to see if it was a tornado watch or a severe thunderstorm or whatever, but the radar is just this huge, probably 100-mile wide severe thunderstorm area. And then there's this red box right on top of where the truck wash is. So, and I'm in an empty trailer. So I look at the town that I'm going to, and it's like, oh yeah, potential for golf ball size hail, severe winds. So my plan is completely screwed now, because I can't just charge teeth first into this with an empty trailer. And what's worse is it's headed right for me where I'm at. So I can't, it's not like it's going to go and just pass over that area and go a different direction. So I can't just sit here for 20 or 30 minutes, wait for it to get out of the way, and then go over there. I have to sit here and wait for it to come all the way to me, and wait for it to get over me, and then go. Which basically means I have to sit here and kill a couple hours. And I'm jacked on coffee. I'm not going to be able to take a nap. Just got to sit here and kill a couple hours. This has been the case for me, I swear to you guys, for 2.5 weeks. Every single night has been like this. And if I've got good solid weight in the trailer, 35,000 pounds or more, it's much less of a concern. When I'm in an empty trailer, I'm not doing it. Not charging headfirst into a severe thunderstorm with wind warnings and hail warnings with an empty trailer. So basically, now I'm just in a holding pattern. I'm going to be showing up there at the truck wash way later than I wanted to, and getting to the shipper way later than I wanted to, which is going to start my 10-hour break way later than I wanted to. And it just is what it is. But you know, trip plan's always great until you get punched in the throat, and it all goes sideways, which happens very often. So, critical event. This is, I'm not on an interstate. This entire drive, even though it's only 150 miles, has been not on interstates, which is fine at night, because it's just, you know, because there's no traffic, so it's fine at night. The problem at night, when you get off the interstate and you go down these 2-lane and sometimes 4-lane highways, but mostly 2-lane highways, and you're going through town after town after town, especially in the part of the country that I'm in, I don't know why they leave the speed limits 55 and 65 where there's traffic light after traffic light after traffic light, and hills before the traffic lights. You know, some states and some municipalities and counties, they'll have like the flashing red on the sign that says, hey, you know, there's traffic light ahead. That's pretty helpful, but that's not the case everywhere. I cannot even begin to describe to you how many times over the last week I've been at war with traffic signals, because they're so close together and the speed limit's 55 or 65. And I can't, like, if I get up to speed, trying to go between those traffic lights, I'm going to be running those traffic lights. So I can't even get up to speed. And even if the speed limit is 55 and you're going 49, you can make it through one green light, and then the one you can see up ahead, by the time you get anywhere near it, it's already yellow, and you're trying to get up to speed because the speed limit's 55 or 60. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. If not that anyone would ever watch my videos that has any control over this, but if someone happened to stumble upon this video that has any control over this shit, when you've got your speed limit 55 and 65 between traffic lights, traffic control devices, you need to have longer yellows. You can't have these yellows that are just a few seconds. It's ridiculous. There's no way possible to be doing 55 or 65 miles an hour, which I don't when there are lights like that close. But if you're in a truck and you're doing 55 or 65 between lights like that are so close, and you actually get up to that speed, there's no way you can stop for a yellow that's only yellow for a couple seconds. So this morning I came over a hill. I think I was doing about 49, and the speed limit was 55. I come over this hill. Now the light before that, I caught the yellow, and I would imagine the very tail end of my trailer was, came through when it was red, and I was like, oh, that, barely made that one, and I'm empty. So I come over this hill. My Garmin is telling me that this one has a camera. Now, I've never gotten cited for a camera. I'm always try to be as careful as I can about it, you know what I mean, with the yellow lights. Like, I don't try and race yellow lights or anything like that. But coming over this hill, right when I got to the top of the hill, I can see the light. This Garmin's telling me there's a red light camera right there. And it's yellow as soon as I come down. I mean, it's very short distance. So I'm like, I'm on the brakes. Because the last one was just so fast. And sure enough, this one was so fast. Now, I'd gotten stopped by the line, but this one was so fast that there was zero question that if I tried to beat it, I would have been in the intersection when it was red. No doubt about it. So I got on brakes, and I was on the brakes pretty hard. Now, I didn't think that my braking was hard enough to throw a critical. That was not on my mind at all. On my mind, I was just, just glad that I was able to get the truck stopped. But instantly I got the yellow triangle, and it's critical event for hard braking. So, what are you going to do? Like, I don't, what are you going to do? It's wild to me that some of these yellow lights are so damn short when the speed limit is that high. It's fine in a car, in a four-wheeler, it's not a big deal. But in a truck, it's a big deal. Like, you can't, and by the way, now, every time I've mentioned this somewhere in social media, I get flack for it and people tell me I'm wrong. You might be right for you. I'm right for me. I will tell you this right now. And I remember this from my CDL permit test. I remember that. This question was on my test. And I'd studied for it, so I got it right. But the question was something like, it is easier, or the truck is designed better to brake better when fully loaded versus empty. True or false? It was something like that. And the answer for the test is true. The truck, the DMV, the handbook at the time taught you that the truck is designed to be able to stop better when it's fully loaded versus when it's empty. For me, that is complete and utter bullshit. Every time I brought this up, someone's, oh no, you're just not driving right, or oh, you're a greenhorn, you're a rookie, you don't understand. Yes, the trucks are designed to stop better when they're fully loaded. My wife agrees. She drove for a couple years. Utter bullshit, complete and utter bullshit. I promise you, if I had 40,000 pounds in a trailer when I came over the top of that hill, there is no way I would have stopped that truck by the line safely. No way possible. Empty, I was able to get the truck stopped safely. By the time I got to the line, I was not in the intersection. There is no way I could get. That is such bullshit for me. May not be for you. I'm not saying it as a blanket statement. I'm just telling you, in any truck that I've driven, and I've driven Freightliners and Peterbilts, any truck that I've driven, it is not the case that if I'm at 80,000 pounds, I have an easier time stopping for a light than if I'm empty. It's not even close. Not even close. So I'm glad I wasn't fully loaded, because I would have had to just commit and probably would have had the camera flash on me. So that was part of the reason that I made the decision that I made, is because I was empty and I knew that I could safely come to a stop. If I came over that hill loaded, I would have made the opposite decision. I would be like, well, I'm going for it, like, here we go. Because there's no way I could have stopped an 80,000 pound truck in the space and time that I had to stop. There's no way I could have done it. I would have been well out into the intersection by the time I was able to get the truck to stop if I was fully loaded. I would love to know your thoughts on that, because I've discussed that before in videos, and it seems like half the responses were, well, you're just not driving right, or something like that. And it's like, okay, man, I'm not trying to say that the experience is the same for all of you. I'm just saying that for me, stopping an empty trailer for a yellow light is substantially easier, more manageable, and safer than stopping a fully loaded 80,000 pound vehicle. I don't understand the claim that it's better and easier to stop a fully loaded truck and trailer because that's what it's designed to do. Of course that's what it's designed to do. Doesn't mean that it's easier. Doesn't mean that it's not designed to also stop empty. So anyway, so I got a critical event, which drives me absolutely batty, because I went several years without a critical event, and I've now had 2 this year. The first one I talked to you guys about a few months ago when I had to avoid an entire super single tire with a rim in it that was laying down on my lane in the middle of the night. And I made a decision. I stand by that decision. I believe it was the right decision. If I would have hit a super single tire with a rim in it, it could have been catastrophic. Very likely would have been catastrophic. So, and then this morning, getting stopped for that light. I stand by both decisions. And like I said, this morning, it was a pretty hard break, but honestly, I've had harder brake events that didn't throw a critical. So I honestly just didn't even think that critical event wasn't even on. Like, I didn't think it would throw a critical event at all. But it did. It is what it is. Not really that big of a deal. But I hate it. So I guess I don't know. What I'm going to do. Just going to go here and get another cup of coffee, I guess, and just burn an hour or two. I don't really have much choice. I just can't charge into this storm. I got to wait for it to get to me, wait for it to get past, and then go. Good times. Be safe. Make good decisions. Always drive, thrive. Talk to y'all soon.